Hello everybody, welcome. And we have a new week, a new GP. It's a team series GP for this week. We don't have a Formula One GP racing, so we have our own schedule here in F1 class, and it's Alpha Tauri GP. And of course, this means that we have for this week two boosted drivers, the drivers of Alpha Tauri, Tsunoda and De Vries, and the the boost of this GP of this event is Taurus. So we are here to see the qualifying round tracks and the strategies for those four tracks. So first of all, let's see where we are racing. As you can see, we begin our qualifying in Miami with very big chances of raining. Then we travel to Spain and Barcelona with very low degrees, with very low temperatures, so no issues with our tires. And as you can see in all qualifying round tracks, we are not going to have issues with our tires regarding temperature. Third race, Melbourne, Australia, and fourth race, Belgium, uh, six lap as always. So this is our four tracks. This is what we are going to see today for the qualifying round, and of course in our next video on Friday we will discuss about opening and final round tracks. As you can see in this picture, you see the two drivers of AlphaTauri, Tsunoda and De Vries with 10%. Be careful, 10%, because last week we had Hulkenberg with 20%. This week is Tsunoda and De Vries with 10% boosted in their stats. Okay, so let's begin with our strategies, and of course we have our first track, which is Miami. We can see clearly that it's a very fast, speedy track. We have some corners, but mainly it's a very fast track, so this is why most of the times we like to choose speed boosts for this track. But if you have seen my live streaming from the last event, the last GP, the UK GP, where we had to race in Miami, I used Coupa and it went exceptionally well. As I always say, we choose our boosts depending on not only on the track, but depending on the weaknesses of our drivers and our car setup. And well, as we talk about this, as you can see, let's go and see in my setup, I have a very balanced setup. You see here 174 in for speed and 176 cornering. So this is a very balanced setup, and because we all know this season that cornering is a little bit more crucial than speed, a little bit, we don't make a huge gap between them, but we mostly like to have more cornering. So because I have a balanced setup, I mostly prefer, even in tracks in fast tracks like Miami or Jeddah, I prefer to use cornering boosts just to make my start here a little bit bigger. So let's get back and see our our strategies for Miami. Nothing new, let's say. 2 to 3 soft, soft, medium, and 3 to 2 medium, soft. Now it depends. The last stint, it depends. Medium, if your driver can't support soft, and we use medium. Why? We do our first stint, okay, 3 laps with mediums. Then our second stint, if your driver cannot support 2 laps and pushing with the softs, we use this stint to recharge our power unit, and then we put mediums so we can push with a full power unit. We can be aggressive and push till the end of the race, the last 2 laps. Now, if we start at the top of the grid or in the middle topies of the grid, and we have drivers with plus 75 or maybe more tire management, then instead of medium last stint, it can we can use soft. We can do 2 laps with softs and be able to push. And as you can see, boosts, all of the boosts are fast and furious, as we used to say. Boosts, of course, you can use cornering boosts if you feel that your car setup lacks cornering and you have enough speed for the track. Yes, you can use Koopa, Prince, Herald, Zin, Oud, Kavai, Movember, whatever. Okay, so that's Miami dry. We have 66% chance of raining. I haven't raced Miami this season with rain. It didn't happen, but I believe that 4 laps with wets, even if it's possible, it's very, very, very slow. So we will forget 4 laps, 1 pit stop, 3-4 and 4-3. No. And we keep the same strategy, 2-2-3 and 3-2-2. Again, the same boosts for both our drivers. 2 pit stops. I know wets are not, we don't have a difference in speed. So in the stints where we do 2 laps, it's a little bit an overkill, but because wets are slow. But the alternative would be 3-3-1. I don't think, I don't know, I wouldn't probably choose to do this, and it all depends where the bots are pitting. Probably none of the bots will pit in the second lap. They will pit in the third and maybe in the fourth lap. So this strategy 2-2-3, if we can follow this strategy for both our drivers and maybe make it 2-3-2, then probably we are going to avoid traffic in the pit lane. But as I told you, I've never raced in the rain Miami, so this season, and we know that this season everything is different. So I'm guessing probably third and fourth lap, uh, mainly third, maybe fourth lap, we have bots pitting. So if we want to avoid pit traffic, 2, 3, 2 maybe it would be a good choice. Uh, but yeah, we have to see where the bots will pit, and then we will revise our strategies, and we'll know exactly what to do. Now, Spain. We have 3 dry races after that, and in Spain, of course, when we are in the back or in the middle of the grid, we usually avoid 2 pit stops because we have big pit times. We are not so fast, so losing time in the pit lane must be avoided. When we get better cars, better drivers, and we get higher in the starting positions, then we can discuss 2 pit stops. When you are at the back or in the middle of the grid, 1 pit stop. So 5-3 hard soft. We can't go with mediums to do 5 laps in Barcelona. We need hards. So 5-3 hard medium. Of course, mainly this is a cornering track. So Tsar, Koopa, Prince, of course Merlion, which is a combo boost, but Merlion maybe if we are in the middle of the grid and not at the back of the grid, we would for sure first choices go with Koopa and Prince, because when we are at the back or in the middle of the grid, as I always say to you and remind you, we need a good race start. When we are in the back or in the middle of the grid, when we start at the top of the grid, this is a different discussion. We start using boosts without race start. Now, the most common strategy that suits everybody, as you can see, back, middle, or top of the grid, it's 4-4 medium medium. It works for everybody, for every setup, every level of driver. So this is your number one pick if you're not sure what to do. 4-4 mediums, again with good race start and cornering. If you are at the back or in the middle, you can use Merlion if you are at the top of the grid. Now, when we are in the middle or at the top of the grid, then we have a different discussion because we can do 2 pit stops. We have the drivers and the car setup to support a strategy like that, to back up a strategy like that. So, yes, 3-3-2, we need cornering. And if we are in the middle of the grid, of course, we need a good race start. Else, if we are at the top of the grid, we focus on cornering and maybe some power unit or some speed. Let's say Merlion, let's say Tunin, let's say Movember. Oops, sorry. And you can do 3-3-2 and 2-3-3, both drivers, with 2 pit stops, depending on your starting positions. If you are in the middle of the grid, then 4-4 for one driver and 3-3-2 for your second driver, I believe it's the best choice. Third track, Melbourne. Well, last season Melbourne was one of the most difficult tracks we had to race. Now we have different difficulties. So this is not a fast track. You can see it. There is only one straight, and it's a middle one. All the others are a little bit bended straights. Anyway, it's mostly a cornering track. So if you are at the back or in the middle of the grid, it's the same. The- we follow the same plan. One pit stop because we are not fast. We cannot recover. We cannot gain back the time we lose in the pit stop inside the track. So we avoid 2 pit stops. 5, 3, hard, soft. Again here, and as you can see, we are choosing Tsar and Movember as 2 of our choices. Why? Because let's go and see. We have seen Tsar. Where is Movember? Here it is. Because with, as you can see here, +4 in tire management, we will be able to push a little bit more on the with the hards, and this is why everybody is going to pit on the 4th lap, maybe on the 3rd lap. 3rd and 4th, most of the bots will pit, so we need in our 5th lap to be able to have enough tire to push, make a fast lap to go and do our pit stop. And this is why we need a little bit of tire management, and of course you can see here Movember 10 +10 in cornering. It's an excellent boost for tracks like this. And of course the defending you see here, yeah, I know defending is not like cornering where we can see the difference, yep, but it's still defending is there not when our opponent pushes the red button, but when we push the yellow button or the blue button and we conserve, and we have cars on our back, if they are not pushing the red button and they are going on yellow or they are conserving too, then defending is an issue. It plays a major role of getting them all at the back, keeping them everybody at your back and not overtaking you. This season, whatever is your defending, whatever is our defending, when the opponent pushes the red button, we can only defend if we push the red button too. So don't measure the performance of this stat of defending when our opponent is pushing his turbo, the red button. No, defending performs and shows its value when we are on yellow and on blue, and so and our opponents at our back do the same. With the red button, if we don't have power to push the red button too, it's a lost cause. They are going to overtake us. Okay, so that was our first strategy. Now, a second strategy for wherever we are is again 1 pit stop, 4 with medium, and 4 with 4 laps with hard. Okay. And why the difference? In our first stint, we just cruise along with the yellow button, maybe some conserving, and maybe when we have a slower car in front of us that is stalling us, we push a little bit the red button to overtake him, and then again yellow. Again, as you can see, Movember and Tsar are good choices here, because in our first stint we need some tire management to do 4 laps with the mediums easily, and in our second stint with a full power unit we can make the hards go fast, because when we have 100% power then we can be a little bit more aggressive, we can be faster even on hards. And by the way, Australia is not a fast track, even with softs. When we are with softs and our opponent is with hards, we cannot make a big difference by pushing. Yes, we can overtake more easily. Yes, of course. But it's not a track that will have a major difference between compounds in one lap. Anyway, this is a very good strategy, especially if you are at the back. 5-3 and 4-4, I believe, are the best choices you can do. Now, let's get to those of you that are in the middle and at the top of the grid. Then we can, of course, do 2 pit stops, especially if we are at the top of the grid. Softs, we need to be fast. We can go gain that P1 from the first lap and then just dictate the rhythm of the pace of the race. Again, cornering boosts are the best choice for this strategy. 3-3-2, maybe 3-2-3, or 2-3-3, depending on our opening lap. Of course, we push in our first stint. Second stint, we recharge, we cruise along, we just push only when we want to overtake, and not even if we have an open road ahead of us, we just go with the yellow, recharging, and whenever we can, we conserve to recharge even more. Last stint, 2 laps with 100% power unit. It's an easy task. We are aggressive for most of that 2 laps. Now, Belgium. Yeah, Belgium is a fast track, although we don't see the typical big straights. We have some bended straights, some curves, but everything is fast here except turns 8, 9. It's 8, 9, 14. No, 8 turns 8, 9, 6, 8, 9, and 18, 18, 19. That's it. Everything else is so fast here that we need to be fast. One strategy, one plan we can follow is this one. It's doing the undercut in Belgium, soft, medium, soft, especially if we are at the back or in the middle of the grid. Soft, medium, soft, of course. And we use this strategy because we want to pit all by ourselves in the first lap and then be on the track on lap number 2 and lap number 3, where everybody is going to pit and we want to overtake them when they are pitting. And of course, last stint with the softs, so we can be able to be fast and maybe push a little bit if we want to do some more overtaking. Overtaking in Belgium is easy. There are certain spots in the track where we can overtake. Mainly it would be sometimes in turn 1, and then it's mostly turn 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. This is, we start pushing the red button from turn 8 or 9, and we overtake at turns 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. We recharge the whole sector 1. As you can see, all well, you see DRS detection zone and speed trap. We recharge the whole sector there, and of course sector 3 after turn 15 we conserve until we get in turn 18. Now, many of you want to do only one pit stop, so yes, if you are at the back or in the middle of the grid and you are afraid of doing 2 pit stops, 3-3 with hards or 3-3 with mediums, maybe when you are at the back or in the middle and you don't have good tire management, you are going to need char, downforce or Movember. As you can see, all of them have tire management to add to your stats. Now, if you ask me, this is the best strategy, the fastest strategy, wherever you start. If you start P1 or P24, for me this is the best one. So try it. I'm always doing using this strategy, and to both of my drivers the trick is we have to avoid stacking. This is sometimes an issue. Sometimes I don't make it, but well, it is what it is. If you are afraid, if you're in at the back or in the middle of the grid and you are afraid of stacking, then at least one of your driver this strategy and your second driver this strategy. Again, 2 pit stops. And I know that I'm telling you that when we don't have a good car and good drivers, 2 pit stops is not the best choice, but there are some tracks that you can't do anything else but do 2 pit stops. Go for strategies with 2 pit stops. And yeah, I believe that that's it for our qualifying round, our 4 tracks. As we saw, we have one race with big chances of raining and 3 dry races. No issues with temperature for our compounds, for our tires. So let's see them once more. Miami, 66 chance of raining. Barcelona, Melbourne and Belgium. So that's it. That's it for the qualifying round of the AlphaTauri series event. I hope this was a useful video for you. I hope we helped you. We're going to help you qualify for the opening. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned because more videos and live stream is coming. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.